Alright, what up everybody? Welcome to the stream. Alright, so we are commentating round 2 of best of 3 adapted for KTL. So KTL stands for KeyForge Team League, and essentially the way it works is that there are a whole bunch of teams of 3, and then each player on the team is given a specific format that they individually will be playing all season. So you have like an adaptive player, an Archon player, and then I know there's one more. Let's see. There's Archon, Triad, and Adaptive. Those are the 3 formats. One for each player on the team. And then each week the team will be pitted up against another team. And then each player is going to be paired up with the respective player on the opposing team for that format. So essentially the Archon player on team 1 is going to go up against the Archon player on team 2. Adaptive player on team 1 will go up against the adaptive player on team 2, and so on and so forth. So here we are. We're in round 2, and we are commentating the adaptive match between AlgernonR and Ugluk4242. Now, he recorded these matches already. The matches already took place, but these were recorded so I could live stream them out to you guys. So we're going to be spectating and commentating those tonight. Should be a good time. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. So let me pull up the first game here. So AlgernonR is part of the Anti-Alliance Alliance. Great team name. And then Ugluk4242 is part of Team Aembermedes. Sorry, Emberstorm. Team Emberstorm, which I assume is probably based off the Grim Reminders card, Emberstorm. Alright, let me pull up game 1 here. So I'm definitely excited to watch these matches and commentate over them. It should be fun. Let's see. Could probably just slide this over like so. Before we get into it, let's take a look at their decks. So Algernon's deck right here, Stefan or Saint Fawn, J. Lighteo the Brave, 74 Sass, Worlds Collide, Dish Logo Starlines. We got this House with double Buzzle, Hecatomb with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other disc creatures, a Hysteria, no Infernus, interestingly. We got some artifact control with the Poltergeist, Library of the Damned for some archiving, decent board control up in here. And then in the logos we have double Tau Vapors, double Eddie, which is disgusting, Dr. Millie as well for some potential extra archiving. Got the Quant Hapsis, classic logos, Worlds Collide shenanigans going on here. Then the Starlines, double Kirby, double Cracker, double Garcia, some really good consistency in there, stealth mode. So yeah, some good key taxing, some out of house plays, stealth mode for that disruption. Overall, a pretty solid looking deck. Expected Ember, only 9.8 expected Ember. That's so weird. That's like a really, really low number. So yeah, it does look fun. It does look fun. Dinobot, welcome to the stream, by the way. So happy to have you here. This should be a lot of fun. Yeah, this deck looks very interesting. And then over here, Ugluk's deck, we have Mass Mutation, Shadow Starlines Untamed. Wow, 19 Sass Shadows, interesting. So in the Shadows house, we have Shoulder Id, we got a boss Zarek, Tempting Offer, look over there, Dark Wave, a few Capture Pips, which is nice. Xenothief, that's the one. Okay, so that's Xenothief. Starlines, we have Tachyon Pulse. So once again, some artifact control. Matter Maker. Antony. How many upgrades do we got with that Matter Maker? Just 3, and they all already belong to Starline. So that Matter Maker's not doing a whole lot. Kirby, Garcia. Quintrino Flux for some clutch board control. And then in the Untamed, this Untamed looks really interesting. Double Amberlution. So Amberlution is that really wonky board wipe. Omega, play destroy each creature. Each player just reveals their hand and puts each creature from their hand into play ready. Super weird card. And 2 of them. And a very odd double rare. Also got Double Song of the Wild, Vault's Blessing with 8 mutants. Key Frog. Any ways to kill that Key Frog? Yeah, there are a couple damage pips in there. And then it looks like, oh, and the Emberlution. So you could get up to 6 with it, and then put down that Key Frog and then Emberlution to kill it. So there's some very good Key Frog potential there. So we've got Algernon, and we've got Ugluk. Let's get into it. It does look crazy. Yeah, this one looks so interesting. Adaptive is such an interesting format. It's like I'm not super good at it, but it is always very interesting to play. All right, so let's get into game one here, and then I'll keep this up like this so that we have access to these decks. Since these are pre-recorded, I'm not gonna be able to like put my cursor over the cards or the deck to be able to zoom into them or anything. But I'll at least have these up like this. So, alrighty, let's get into it. Let me see, maybe I can zoom in a little bit, just so that fills up more of the screen. Will that work? Maybe I can actually put it over this way more, so my camcorder or my camera doesn't take up too much space. It took too long to understand that even though Emberlution is an Omega, you play it before your creatures. Yeah. Alright, so Algernon is going first. Starts out strong with an Eddy. Oh my goodness, I just exited out of the... I just exited out of the match. Okay, we're off to a great start. We are off to a great start here, folks. Let's not exit out of the match. Okay. Let's do this. Algernon v Ugluk. Who will come out on top? KTL sounds like such a fun concept. You know, I would love to be part of a team and like participate in leagues like these, but I'm also just as happy to commentate them. I do love spectating and commentating KeyForge. It's super fun. So yeah, Algernon starts out with Eddy. And then also, don't we have to have the hands? I think we have to have the hands censored. Just 1 second. Let me find a way to do that. Un momento, por favor. I've got an idea. This shouldn't be too hard. Let me go in here, add in. See if I can get something like this to work. Watch this. Pro strats right here. These are high-level strats. We'll see how that works. This is not the best, but it'll do in a pinch. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's get back into it. We should be all set. All right, go. Starts out with the Eddy. Ugluk comes down with a Matter Maker and an early Antony. So for his deck, the Antony, let me see. In terms of Ember control, the Antony is like one of his biggest threats. Because he does have the Garcia, the Bowkniving for late game, and some other things, but Antony is like the really big clutch for those keys. Alright, so Algernon puts down a couple Crackers and a Force Field on the Eddy. That Eddy is very well protected. Ugluk comes down, starts milling a little bit with the Survey, starts digging for his key pieces. Got the Demo Alien, Antony Reaps. Okay. Algernon calls Logos. So it looks like the Eddy is going to be getting warded here. So depending on what kind of board control Ugluk has, that Eddy might pose to be something of a threat. It is really early though, like that Eddy's not doing a whole lot right now. But you never know what kind of threat that may pose. Daughter's coming down. This is a really good Logos stuff that Algernon has going on right now. So Eddy gets warded. Jargoggle comes down, put something underneath it. At least I'm pretty sure that hands have to be censored. That's what I saw. I'm pretty sure. Oh, nice. Twin Bolt emissions the Jar Goggle to play the Poltergeist to hit the Matter Maker. Very nice line. Very nice line. Looks like Ugluk responds with some shadows. Let me check one thing real quick. Algernon is just keeping on that Logos train with another Tau Vapors. Words the Eddy, or we're using it at least. Then the Thorium Plasmate. See, the thing about the hands being censored is that even though you can't see what's in Algernon's hand, you pretty much still get an idea of what's in there because he moves his cursor over the cards and you can see them flash up in the upper right there. So that's kind of weird. That's a little bit weird. You can still pretty much tell what's in his hand just because of the way his mouse is moving. Okay, tempting offer to pop the ward. Algernon finally going a house other than Logos, dropping a Universal Translator. Garcia. Yeah, and the glowing too. Like this isn't working. This isn't working that well. I feel, see, I really, what would have been ideal, what is ideal is if I could have just watched their match live, but apparently they weren't able to find a time that matched up with my time, so it didn't quite work out for all three of us to come together at the same time, which is unfortunate, but I guess we'll just have to make do. All right, there's Emberlution number 1. Algernon, however, has quite the hand of creatures to come down as a result. What's cool about Emberlution is that Algernon does not draw back up at the end, so their creatures are out, but he still now just has a tiny little hand. It's funny. Think a little 2-card hand. So it doesn't quite look like Algernon has quite the capability to take Ugluk off of check at the moment. But he can at least take care of the Garcia. And archive the Rock Grub with the Reap. And we've got Buzzle out here. Sadly, I don't think he's going to find any way to get value out of the Misery Exploit. Yep, fights the Garcia. Alright, Algernon has quite the lead. Algernon has quite the lead so far. And he just wipes board. Ugluk comes through and wipes board. Big time. Algernon responds. Dude, 5 cards in the archives. Algernon has 5 cards in the archives. Crazy. Resurgence brings back the Techno Beast. And... oh, KeyFrog. KeyFrog is about to pop off. Yeah, when it's just a pre-recording like this, maybe the whole hand thing doesn't matter. Maybe I can just get rid of that. You know? Like, is it actually a problem? Like, if... Kirby, Garcia, Hysteria. Oh, nice, some Kirby chains. Gotta love the Kirby chains. That's a scary Star Alliance board, and a stealth mode to prevent actions. So stealth mode is actually a good counter against the Emberlutions, and thus, perhaps even against the KeyFrog as a result. Yeah, it may be to prevent stream sniping, and if so, if it's just for streaming in particular, then I'm just going to leave the whole censor bar off, since it's pre-recorded and the matches are done already. Because this is easier, because it's not doing anything. You guys can literally just tell what's in his hand. Anyway, so. We're learning how to play the opponent's deck after the fact. Yeah, potentially. If I get yelled at for not censoring the hands, that's fine. I'll censor them next time, and we'll know for next time. But I don't see the difference it would make right now, when the matches are done and it's pre-recorded, and it doesn't matter anyway, because the recording shows what's in the hands anyway, and the censor bar isn't doing it. So, again, ideally, if I could actually have been live there in the match, spectating that way, that would have been great, but it didn't work out. This is much easier, just doing it like this. This is much easier in terms of like the hand. Anyway. Yeah, I'm kind of like out of the loop on a lot of the league stuff. I just saw somewhere that hands were supposed to be censored, but I didn't look that closely into it. Hapsis takes out the KeyFrog. Nips that in the bud. Reaches Quant. Does indeed play the Hecatomb, putting himself checking at 9. Oh, Ugluk just straight up concedes. Okay, so Algernon takes game 1. Algernon takes game 1. So now we're gonna move on to game 2 here. Game number 2. Here we go. Alright, so Algernon wins. Game 1. We are 1-0. They now swap decks. So now Algernon is piloting the Mass Mutation deck. And we've got Ugluk piloting the Worlds Collide deck. Ugluk starts off with a Jargon. Very nice. Algernon drops a Fandangle. Techno Beast discards the Emberlution. Has a nice Shadows hand, prepped and ready to go, with some draw pips in there. Hi, I found your channel today. Love all content about KeyForge. Is a shame that they sold IP. There is no more translation for PTBR here in Brazil. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you enjoy the channel. Super glad to have you here. Yeah, that's super kind of you. Thank you so much. That is a shame that they sold the IP, that there's no more translation available. I really hope that something gets figured out and maybe they can bring it back at some point. I'm not sure, but yeah, that is unfortunate. Yeah, hopefully you guys can keep playing like online or even find leagues to play in. But yeah, thanks again for stopping by the channel. Super glad you enjoy it. Thank you so much. The web version resolves stuff automatically or must do every action manually? It's so like when you play the card, it does everything on that card for you. So it's pretty much just all automatic. I mean, you still have to click and choose which cards to play, but it does the actual card effect just on its own. So it's super nice. It's a really nice really nice fan-made site for playing KeyForge online with people all across the world with any deck that you like. Yeah, it's awesome. It is awesome. Yeah, but it's all fan-made. It's not actually associated with GG or FFG or anything like that. It's totally fan-made website, which is super cool. They have a Patreon and everything. And they just recently got Grim Reminders decks playable on here. So now you can actually play with your Grim Reminders decks on TCO. Alright, Ugluk is now going ham with the logos. We got a daughter, we got Dr. Millie, Twin Bolt. Algernon goes Untamed with this beautiful Untamed hand. Does he have enough to pull off a Key Frog right here? He does! He doesn't have an Emberlution in hand though. Does he have a way to damage? It doesn't look like it. If he had an Emberlution in hand, he totally could have forged right here. Heck yeah. Yeah, whenever you draw into that Song of the Wild after establishing a big Untamed board, it's the best feeling. Especially then when the board survives, and then you actually get to use your Song of the Wild. A rare occurrence indeed. Yes, Song of the Wild and Vault's Blessing. From that classic Mass Mutation Untamed burst. You'll love to see it. So Vault's Blessing was for what? 1, 2, 3, 3 it looks like? Not including the Ember Pip, so there's a 4 Ember burst. How about those Star Lines? Maybe has a Garcia in hand to tax it at least. Kirby into Draining Touch. Interesting. Probably hits the Fandangle. Just to prevent that ready effect. Oh, it destroys the shoulder aid. Huh. Okay, he just fought the Fandangle with Alm's Master. Okay. Reaps with the Cracker. The Translator allows him to reap with the Millie. And then sure enough, the Garcia comes down to tax Key 1. Algernon forges, has 2 left in the pool afterwards. Ugluk still trying to check for that first key, is not quite there yet. Throws down the Damo Alien. Quintrino Flux. Oh man. What a huge Quintrino Flux. It's Untamed and or actually Quintrino Flux is the one for power values, isn't it? I always get that one confused with Quintrino Warp, because Warp hits houses, I'm pretty sure. Right? Or do I have those two switched? No, it looks like Flux hit powers 2 and 3. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Flux is power value. Star Lions. We got the Lang, we got the Molina, the Kimkin. Fights the Techno Beast off the board. And that Quintrino Flux is like one of the biggest sources of board control. Actually, that's not true. It's a double Emberlution deck. What am I talking about? Never mind. Never mind. Alright, so Bone Kniving is still not getting any value here. There is a Capture Pip in the shadows on the Francis the Economist that Algernon can use to stop Ugluk's Key here. We got good Seeker Needle value on the Cracker or the Orange Nest or Molina. Boss Zarek will get some value with the Francis. Or the Capture Pip on the Francis, I should say. Booby Trap to wipe the board. Lots of good board control. Lots of good board control coming in right now. Got the Zarek. Got the Francis to capture onto the Zarek. Give it elusive. Boniving comes down. Or actually, no, Boniving is kept in hand. Okay, interesting. Interesting decision to hang on to the Boniving. Because it's going to be a while before Algernon can get some value out of the bow. I probably would have just pitched it. Poltergeist hits the Seeker Needle and puts a damage on the Francis. Yeah, because Ugluk's deck, which is actually Algernon's deck that Ugluk is playing with, that one didn't really have any key cheats in it. Like, I could see if Ugluk had a key cheat that he probably would forge with. maybe expect to get modernizing value next turn as a result, but... Library of the Damned comes down. Buzzle purges the Lang to fight, to reap actually, and then Hysteria to do it again, it looks like. Or it. Buzzle. Buzzle again. He does not purge his own stuff to reap. Interesting. Ugluk could have gotten a couple extra reaps out there, but I guess he just wants to threaten he just wants to threaten a big board. Algernon goes Starlines with Attack Impulse, the Hadron Collision to kill the Bornit. Smart move. Bornit is super dangerous. And ends at check for second key at 6. Ugluk counters Starlines with Starlines. Throws out a stealth mode, a Kirby and the Garcia to stop the second key. Well, that stealth mode is not doing a whole lot because Algernon just has a hand full of creatures. 6 creatures. That was an unfortunate stealth mode. Yeah, the Hysteria is what did it. Put all those creatures back in the hand. Back up to 7. Ugluk calls Logos. Maybe throw down an Eddy or 2. Twin Bolt. Actually, I don't know where the Eddies are at the moment. Maybe 1 Eddy and a Tautau. Throwing in Plasmate to kill the Xenothief. Eddy comes down. There they are, yep. 2 Eddies. To stop the key. Alright, going Untamed with the Niflate, the Flumph, and boom! Hits the Emberlution. Anytime Ugluk tries to make tries to make a board, Algernon has the counter with some board control. 2 Emberlutions is so good. However, with that Emberlution, he just created a halfway decent Starlines board for Ugluk. A Cracker and a Kirby? I mean... But Algernon has a really nice Starlines hand of his own. Kirby Garcia. Survey, Observumax, Universal Translator. Ugluk goes this, Archives the Rock Grub with the Reap. Hecatomb for nothing. Misery Exploit for nothing. And Library of the Damned. Okay, Algernon gets his second key. There's a beautiful Starlines turn coming up here. Surveys, discards the... has to decide between Darkwave and Mattermaker. Discards the Darkwave, anticipating another Starlines turn to follow up with after this one, most likely. Breathes with Antony, throws on the Garcia to stop Ugluk's second key. Puts down a Universal Translator, and an Observumax. Or sorry, yeah, an Observumax on the Kirby. And captures onto the Garcia. Okay. Ugluk goes Starlines. Naturally. You have a Cracker and a protected Kirby on the board? Oh, stealth mode. Now, Algernon is in a little bit more of a predicament. Not really, though. Because he's probably going to want to go Starlines again, and he doesn't have any Starlines actions in hand. Untamed would not make any sense. Oh, that's a really scary board, actually. That was actually some really terrifying burst that just happened from Ugluk. Mattermaker. And stops at 8. A very clutch stun of the Garcia. Very clutch Garcia stun. Does Ugluk have an answer to checking at 8 Ember for final key? Does he have what it takes? He's thinking about it. He is thinking about it. Yeah, sure enough, that stealth mode once again didn't really do a whole lot because Algernon didn't have actions in hand. And there it is. Ugluk concedes. Wow. 2-0 for Algernon. Bam. There we have it. This was very interesting to spectate from Algernon's point of view, because then we saw him like typing in the chat and everything. That's kind of funny. So then there's this third file. What is this? Algernon versus Ugluk game 3. Yeah, the 2-0. The big 2-0. However, what is this? Algernon versus Pentium CR. What is this? This isn't part of the adaptive thing, is it? It shouldn't be. I think the contents of the folder deceived me. They deceived me too. I thought that it was gonna be a third game here, that they were gonna go to chains. It even says Algernon versus Ugluk game 3. Interesting. Yeah, it must just be a placeholder. That's kind of funny. It's like a full game that got recorded here. Okay, well, I guess that's it then. I totally expected a game 3 to happen. I was like, how is Ugluk gonna win this? How is Ugluk gonna pull out a come from behind victory? Oh, that is so smart. So we don't know if there's 2 or 3 games. Ah, that's genius. I wouldn't have thought of that. Heck yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yes, I appreciate that too. That is smart. That is smart thinking. Smart thinking. Okay, well, congrats to Algernon for the 2-0 victory over Ugluk in adaptive. Heck yeah. That was pretty good. Those are some very entertaining games. Alright, well, that's going to be the stream. Just a short one. Just wanted to stream this match. This is the feature match for adaptive, actually for round 2 of KTL. Good times all around. Hopefully I didn't actually have to hide the hands, because that was not working. Hopefully next time I can just actually get in there live. That's the ideal. That's the ideal strat. That's what you want to see. But we'll just leave it there, I guess. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it was a good match. Good stuff all around. Congrats to AlgernonR for winning. And then one last thing I gotta do is that there are 2 other feature matches for round 2. Obviously, one for each of the other formats. Let me see if I can find that. So we have. So I did the Algernon versus Ugluk, and then we have Jason, the Captain Kirk, is going to be streaming Emperor Riku versus Karen Fox. Let me see if I can't pull that up. At least his Twitch. That would be alright. Twitch.tv. That is going to be. What's the name of his thing again? What was that? What's the name of the captain's thing? Isn't it the captain? Dude, I was literally a guest on one of his live streams and I don't remember the name of his live stream. What the heck? What is wrong with me? Donabot, do you remember? The Captain Kirk, Captain's KeyForge. I feel terrible that I don't remember the name of his live stream. I was literally his guest at one point, and I don't remember. Captain, I'm gonna look up Captain KeyForge. I don't think that's what it is at all. Captain KeyForge? No, that's not what it is. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? Okay, well there's him. There's also Quick Draw. Quick Draw is part of Slop Captain's deck. Yeah, it might be Captain's deck. Dude, I am bombing this right now. I am bombing this. Captain's deck. Let's try that. Captain's deck. Nope. I guess it's not that either. Literally, my one job at the end of this is to shout out the other 2 content creators who are doing the feature matches for this round, and I literally can't remember them. Yeah, let me look in KeyForge creators. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Let me check this. What do we got here? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness me. Schedule. Oh, maybe it's in here. What a great end to the stream. Me struggling to find the names of my fellow KeyForge content creators. I am such a great person. There is a Captain KeyForge on YouTube. Yeah, there's a Captain KeyForge on YouTube, so that's an option. Why is this not loading? Oh. Yeah, there's a Captain KeyForge on YouTube. I think maybe that's the same. I don't think it is. Ah, gee. Week 2. Jason. Oops. Jason, what's his name though? The captain's deck? What do you mean? Alright, hold on a minute. What is this guy's name? Alright, Captain KeyForge. I don't think it's Captain KeyForge. Holy cow. Jason. It is the captain's deck? Why is it not showing up here? The captain's deck. The captain's deck. Oh, here we go. This is alright. This is oop, hold on a minute. This is dude, I'm crushing it right now. Me and Dinobot, we are crushing it. Where the heck? Alright, here we go. Jason the Captain Kirk. Yes, this is what it is. Okay, he's going to be streaming the match between Emperor Riku and Karen Fox, or at least he's going to be commentating it. He's going to be commentating it. Alright, so to watch that match, go here. Twitch.tv, the captain's deck. Here, let me go to his actual thing. The captain's deck. I'm going to put this in chat. Go and watch. There we go. Okay, we got there in the end. Here we go. Twitch.tv, the captain's deck. Go there. Watch his thing. Holy Stew, how's it going? Nice match. Heck yeah. Good matches all around. Alright, there's that one. And then Quick Draw is going to be streaming the match between Lionusu and Roar 1. I think that match may have happened already. Either way, you can find it. That is Sloppy Labwork, am I right? That one is Sloppy Labwork, I think. Where's that bottom of the beaker? Or are those the same things? Sloppy. You would think I would know these things, being one of the content creators out here. And somehow I'm just really not in it with these names. Is it Sloppy Labwork? I think it is. Here, let me look up Sloppy Labwork. Yes. Here we go. Sloppy Labwork. Is this right? Help. Sloppy Labwork is the channel. Bottom of the beaker is their podcast. Okay. Sloppy Labwork. Right here. I'm going to put this in the chat too. Boom. Go check that out. Here's their YouTube channel. Watch this. Boom. Go to their YouTube channel. And there's their Twitch. Alright. We're finally good. Alright. I see, what's weird is that I put out KeyForge content, but I don't consume that much KeyForge content outside of like Help from Future Self. And that's about it. I really should be. I really need to consume more I watch more KeyForge content than that. I do consume more KeyForge content than just HFFS, but HFFS is my main thing. I do watch like Lionusu from time to time. And sometimes I'll stop in with other podcasts like Zach Armstrong's podcast, KeyForge Public Radio. Obviously Dinobot. I watch your stuff all the time. You're like top 2 streamers ever. And then Zach, of course, DataForge. I watch his stuff, but I don't know, most other stuff for some reason I just never get around to consuming it. But yes, so there we have it. Quick draw at Slappy Lab Work, and then the captain's deck, Captain Kirk, KeyForge. He's in the chat too. Go watch his stuff. All right, I think we're gonna call it there for tonight. Thanks to everybody who stopped by. Congrats to Algernon for winning 2-0 once again. Great job. Way to get that W, my friend. Okay. that was quite the thing we had going there. Okay. Thanks everybody. See you. Can't wait to see you all again in the next one. See you later.